All right, so it looks like we're beginning now. The recording started. So we're going to be running through an intermediate mat program today. So we're going to start sitting on your mat, facing the short end, and then start rolling back. So, with the pelvic tuck to curve your low back into the ground. Hands can slide along your legs or reach your arms out for more work. Come all the way to your best upper up curl. Pull the knees in. Lift your head and chest a little higher, extending the legs to your working level. They could be bent, they could be straight. Extend the arms forward to pump. Inhaling for 5 beats and exhaling for 5 more. Your head is pulling up, the arms are stretching forward. The body should be pretty steady. Think about rolling your collarbones forward and backward to lift and lower the arms. That you're really working from the center of your chest, right on each side of your sternum. That's your breastbone. And you're lengthening forward through your fingertips, lengthening up through your legs. As you start to warm up, you can try taking the legs a further distance from your core. As long as you feel this working you strongly in the abdominals and not arching your spine. You keep pulling your head up. If you look up at the ceiling, if you look up at your feet, your head will fall back and you'll feel it more in the front of your neck. Right now in this position, as you look down, you should feel the back of your neck stretch. That's fine. If it seems to bother you, you can always take one hand behind your head as you pump or prop yourself up on a ball, a blanket, something like that to stay in this deep curl. We're going to do one last breath. Full inhale, breathe in through the nose, exhale out through the nose or the mouth, and then you can fold your knees in, hug them tight, lay your head down, lower your feet, arms extend, and just rock your knees to one side, turn your head in the other direction, just to give your body a little stretch, a little release, especially rotating here through the neck. And then we'll come back to center. Stretch your legs long. Arms are reaching up to the ceiling, so you weight the shoulder blades for roll up. If you know you need a TheraBand around your feet, you can grab it now. So we're going to bring the arms back, take a stretch without lifting the rib cage up. Just yawn your body open to the ceiling. Arms rise, start to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale before you pick up the ribs. And then diving over, feet are together and flexed, and you reach out long, bending your knees if your hamstrings are tight, getting a stretch in the whole back line of your body. And then press your heels forward. Think of digging your heels into the ground like anchors. The arms rise to whatever level you can manage while still keeping control of your body flowing into the floor. Go all the way back. The shoulders fall, the arms reach back. You don't want to go so far that your back arches additionally. You keep the same curves of your spine. Then we lift the head, neck, shoulders, exhale, come up. The head leads your spine in a beautiful arc like a wave coming out of the ocean. You dive forward, pull the belly back. It's as if someone is reaching their arms around your waist and trying to pull you backwards as you reach forward. And then we're rolling the pelvis here under the femurs, under the thigh bones. The arms lower if you need to slow the movement down, higher if you can support more work through your abdominals to take you down with control. It's all about control and feeling the body lift and lower 1 inch, 1 vertebra after the next. We're trying to sequence the spine up in a beautiful curve in an arc, and not just pull from the hip flexors. As you dive forward, round here, stretch here, feel your back widen and wrap around the front of your body. The heels reach forward, you lengthen the legs. As you go back, curling down slowly. If when you go back, you feel like your forehead is hanging back and your chin is elevated, you may need a pad under your head. Not so much for this one, but for the next exercise, circle the arms around. And then we'll pull the right knee into your chest, pull it in tight. Do some little knee stirs here, circling the knee in one direction, holding the body still and grounded. Reverse the circles of that right knee. You're not stirring the foot. It is that you're holding the knee still and just moving the foot. You're actually moving the thigh bone to massage out the hip. And then grab your TheraBand. You don't have to use one. It's nice to get that extra stretch and reach. Using the band gives you support for the weight of the leg. It also gives you something to press out into for more elongation. So we're going to lift the heel up first. Bend your knee if your hamstrings are tight, otherwise straighten the leg. And you point the foot, soft point. We're going to cross the leg over the body, pressing the right side of the body down as the right leg moves left. Reach the leg low, come out to the side, rotate the leg externally and pull it all the way up to the top. That's the end of that breath, 1 breath per circle. Short inhale, 1/4 of the distance of the circle, reach out long. You can pivot from your elbows, holding the upper arms firmly down onto the ground. Exhale to the top of the movement. Reach again. As you go out with the foot, sink back with the right hip. Feel the stretch across the outer thigh. You rotate the leg, pull it aside. The left side of the body pushes down into the ground, so there's no shifting. You don't want to think of your body rocking here. You want to think of it really grounded, heavy, like it's glued to the floor. And you get that not by being rigid, but by actually thinking about counterforce. So I think of more weight on the right side of the body as the leg moves left, and then more weight on the left side of the body as the leg moves to the right. We're going to come to the top, pause, and now reverse. Inhale, left side heavy, leg moves to the right. Perfect. Circle it around low. Keep spiraling the leg on the socket. Bring it up, up, up. If you need to bend the knee to let the foot get high, as long as you still feel the stretch in the back of the hamstring, that's fine. But then as soon as the leg goes forward, even with tight hamstrings, you straighten the knee. Keep pushing out into space here. You'd like to think that you're not just drawing a beautiful circle in the air, but you're spiraling it further and further and further away from the hip joint, so that every movement creates a little bit more length in your muscles, a little more space in the joint, and a little more challenge for you to hold the body stable and grounded here on the floor. Now let's take both ends of the band in your right hand, left hand on the hips, open the leg out to the right, and you want to drop it as low as you can, and then maybe rock it a little bit towards your shoulder and away. Just a slight gentle movement. You're not, forcing it. You're not doing anything really dramatic. It's just a little bit of an easy rock here to move more than one fiber into stretch, right? We don't just want to stretch the same bit of the muscle. We want to stretch a little bit more of it. And then let's exhale, pull the leg up to the ceiling. At the top at 90 degrees, you switch hands, extend your right arm, look at the hand, and then cross the leg over here. We do let the hip, waist, and rib lift, but you're holding that right shoulder blade heavy into the ground. Think of it sinking down through your mat like it's sinking into warm sand as you're laying on a beautiful beach. Rotate the leg internally to get more stretch across the glute, low back, and into the outer thigh. And then exhale, come down from your left shoulder, your waist, your right hip to lift that foot, lift up to the ceiling. Lift it high enough, get a stretch where you want it without overstretching the back of the knee. Remember, soften the knee if you need to. And then we'll fold that knee in, the band comes off. Pull that knee in once more tight to your body, and then stretch it forward. Shake out your legs, feel the difference in the two sides. The right side should be falling into the ground a little heavier, a little deeper. Let's pull the left knee in, and remember we started with the stirs. So you reach out through the left sits bone as you pull the knee in tight first, release it slightly, and then you can stir it with your left hand on the left knee, right hand's on the right hip, to prevent your body from rocking back and forth. Let's reverse the circles. Think of this like oiling the synovial fluid that cushions the bones, prevents them from grinding into each other, to put it sort of brutally, right? We want to think that you're creating a nice oily surface here with this movement. The little beads of oil are becoming softer, and that protects the joint. Pull the knee in and reach for your band. And we'll take that band, whether it's a TheraBand, a yoga strap, a belt, a dog leash, whatever. We're going to lift the leg up and feel that stretch in the back of the leg by lifting the heel and curling the toes down, then point the foot, and we start the circles here. Across the body first on an inhale, and then exhale all the way around, sweep it wide and lift it up, and do that again. I know everyone's tired of sitting and staring at their computer, at Zoom, or whatever you're using. Here's a chance to really move through it. And be grateful we have that technology. So if we can't be in person, we still can do this. Stretch long, reach out. The foot slides just past the other. When you exhale all the way around, you should run out of air at the top of the circle. So that way, if you do the shorter inhale and the longer exhale, you really feel your low belly, your transverse abdominal muscle knit together and grab in like a corset. Let's reverse. Inhale away from center. Push weight into the opposite side from the way the leg is moving to keep your body grounded here on your mat. Draw that beautiful circle in the air. Keep reaching longer out into the band. Try to make it stretch a little further. Let's do one more circle here. Enjoy this opening at your hip. And also the work you feel in your core supporting your body from moving. Take both ends of the band. Now in your left hand, you open the leg out to the side, rotating it externally. The right hand on the right hip. If you feel that right hip bone come up, lift the leg Drop the hip down and then lower the leg again while keeping stable on your opposite side. And then you can rock the leg slightly. The goal is to feel this stretch shift a little bit on that upper inner thigh. And then we exhale to pick the leg up, switch hands at the top. Extend your left arm, look at that hand. You turn the head, you spiral, hip, waist, rib off the floor, reach long into the sole of the foot, and you rotate the thigh bone in order to point the knee and the toes down on your left leg. Your right leg may rotate slightly here just because you've turned your body, and that's fine. Now we're going to come back, right shoulder, waist to the ground, hip to the ground, lift the left leg, get a little stretch at the final reach, and then pull everything in. We take the band off, place it to the side, hug the knee in one more time, reach out through the left sits bone as you pull the knee in, the shoulder's still easy, and then stretch the leg forward, shake out your legs, and you should feel flatter to the ground. You should feel that your thighs are melting into the floor. Center here, and we're rolling forward. Next, we're rolling like a ball. Let's pull the right knee in. Holding onto the shin is more difficult, to the thigh is easier. Pull the left leg in and lift that leg up to the ceiling. We rock forward and up, pulling up to sitting, and then folding the legs in for your into your rolling like a ball position. Hands to your shins or the thighs easier. Pull the elbows forward and wide. We're going to inhale to lift the tail and roll just to the shoulder blades, and exhale to come up to your balance point. Keep pulling the waistline back to round your back. Think inhale, inflate the back like you're inflating a tire. You roll, never letting the head or neck touch. Inhale all the way back. Start your exhale as soon as you hit the base of the shoulder blades or even the base of the ribs, so that you're already in the exhale on the return back up to a seated position. As you roll, be aware you're working the right and left side equally, so you roll in a straight line up and down the mat. If you're right dominant, you might be pushing yourself over to the left, in which case you just ask the left side to work a little harder for you, and picture the straight line that you're drawing in the air. Lower your left foot down, maybe scoot back a little bit, and we're taking right hand to the right ankle, left hand to the knee. We're rolling back into the ab series. Extend the leg and try to go down as slowly as you can, imprinting your low back, your mid back, all the way to the base of the rib cage here. Inhale, we switch the legs. This is single leg stretch. One leg reaches forward, the other one pulls in tight. The legs work right out of the socket, so they're not drifting sideways. You'll see that will happen if you're tight through the IT band and the outside of your leg. So use the inner thighs and also watch where you're going. Your gaze is up and looking forward and down so that you can look to see that the legs are drawing parallel lines in the air as they move back and forth. Let's bring both knees in, one hand to each shin. Push down with your hands and up with your shins. Engage into your center, come deeper. Inhale, arms and legs lift to the ceiling and maybe slightly away from each other. Do not fall flat. Exhale, circle the arms, embrace your legs in. Pick up your elbows and pull your chest forward. Look down. Always look down, don't look up. Keep your gaze low and embrace the legs in. Hug them in tight, and then you reach again. If the angle you choose is flattening your head back to the mat, you've gone too far with the arms and maybe too far with the legs, right? So in which case, just bring the arms and legs up higher and circle. I'm pretty sure you're still going to feel this. Let's do one more. Reach out to your working level. That means the spine position doesn't shift. Pull everything in. Rest your head down. Turn your head easy one side to the other. Taking a little break here. Eventually, you go through all 5 of the abdominal series in a row without resting. And we're coming up again. Look into the belly. Take the right leg up. Reach your hand high as you can towards the foot, towards the ankle. Extend the left leg out. Look down your midline. Inhale, you switch the legs. You hold your body up with your core as you move the legs, and your hand has to release one leg. Bring the other leg towards the hand and just bring the hand slightly from side to side. Your range again is going to be what works for you. If your hamstrings are tight, you would bend the knee a little bit as it comes in, but straighten the leg as it goes out. Let's do one more set. We're going to end with the left leg up in the air because we started with the right leg there. Bring both legs up, take your hands, wrap them around the base of the skull, pull the head up to stretch the back of the neck, and pull the elbows forward and down. Now here, be careful. We're going to push both legs away from you. Draw a small arc in the air, reach out until you feel your low belly quiver, and then you exhale and you pull the legs up. You're being very careful, right? Because the muscles that attach the legs to the spine connect each of the lumbar vertebrae, each of the intervertebral discs, and you want to feel the body stiffen and strengthen and maybe tremble, but you don't want to feel that your back is arching. So reach out only as far as you're confident that it's safe for your back. It's a great way to strengthen your core and strengthen the muscles that support you in your back. But if you do it incorrectly, if you go too far, you can injure yourself. So it's all about your range. It's all about being aware. And now we're twisting to your right. Push the left leg long, come up and over, and then twist to the left. Reaching around here, spiral off the ground, pick up the shoulder blade, pull your armpit to the inner knee. It's not about just pulling the knee across the body, not the knee, the elbow to the knee, but you're lifting and twisting and turning and pulling the armpit up and in. And last time to the left, pull everything in and lay it down. Hug the knees in. Let's take one hand to each knee and circle the knees away from each other and towards each other. And then let's reverse the circles, just giving a little more release for the hips and a chance for your belly to stretch a little and relax and your neck to be at ease. We're coming forward and up now for spine stretch. So first you can stretch the legs forward, take the arms back so it's like you're doing your roll up all over again. Lift the arms, head, neck, shoulder, come up, exhale, pull yourself up. You can open the legs and come right up, transitioning into your position. I ran out of room, I'm going back. And so the arms press down, the heart rises, the halo lifts into the ceiling. Look down as you exhale, and your head, your neck, your shoulders lead the spine from the top to the bottom into a beautiful arc here. Diving over again. If you're tight on the hamstrings, you can bend your knees. You can also have elevated your hips to sit on some books or a yoga block. Stand into your legs and lift your back, low, middle, upper, shoulders, neck, head. You're inhaling up into the sky, and then you exhale, look down. Move first to the neck. Do not start the movement at your waist. Really try to sequence your body out over in a beautiful arc, a gorgeous curve, diving forward until you feel that stretch. You can even bend your knees and stretch a little further as long as you feel a good stretch in the hamstring, a good stretch in the back. And then press your legs down as you start to roll up, coming all the way up. Widen the chest through the frame of your arms. And one more time, looking down, as if your head was heavy. It is. Supposedly heads are about 10 to 12 pounds. So let that weight drive you over and down like holding a bowling ball. Your body might follow the ball. Your body follows your head. And then press through your legs, stack it up. The back of your body lifts you. The abdominal wall stretches. Ease the shoulders down your back. And less time going forward to transition into open leg balance and rocker. Once you go all the way over, we take that stretch, you suck the belly back into the spinal curve, and then we fold the knees up and the heels into your tail. You can move your butt closer to your heels. Easier is to take your hands to the back of your thighs, rock back on your sacrum, and then we're just going to have the elbows wide, the spine in a curve like rolling like a ball, and extend the right leg up, stretch it, exhale, pull it back, and now the left. You're trying to have the leg narrow so it's right to the line of your shoulder. Pull it back in, more advanced position, hands to the inside of the ankles. And when you lift the right arm, the hand might rotate so the thumb is sort of on the top of the shin. And when you pull that heel down, the arm comes inside the knee. Left leg extends, you reach. You can always be back holding your thigh here. And now both legs simultaneously. They both reach up, you hold your balance point, and exhale, pull it back down. And we're doing that once more. To reach and stretch and then fold. On the last one, we go up and get ready to roll. So you lift the legs, you extend them. You take your hands more to the outside of the calves if you're rolling with the hands here. Otherwise, to your thighs works too. Look at your belly, curl the tail. And that movement of the tail up shifts your weight. You roll back and exhale, come forward to your balance point, legs still in the air. And we're rolling back. Moving through space, exhale, coming up. And again, just like rolling like a ball, your gaze stays down, and you work to come back on your balance and also work or think about drawing that straight line up and down the mat. We'll do one more, rolling back and then forward, coming up, close the legs together, and you do have the option, you can lower your feet to the ground and then roll back, or you can leave the feet in the air, more difficult. Reach the arms forward, either along your leg, you can slide your hands, or you reach forward, and you roll back with your spine. Lift the legs up to the ceiling for corkscrew. So here, you could use a TheraBand around both feet, but we're going to do a small circle with the legs. Inhale, with the band or without. The legs circle to the right, Come around to the left, come back to the top and reverse the circle, taking it left and then exhale around to the right, pushing through the opposite side of your body to keep your body stable and grounded. My left side is heavy as the legs go right. You know this, the right side is heavy as the legs go left. Good. Knees could be bent here. Try to have your feet right over the pelvic floor. So that means if you're really tight in the back of your legs, the knees are pretty bent. As they start to loosen up, the legs get straighter. It takes time to change your body. Be patient with it. Just be grateful you can do what you're doing. And then you come all the way back up to the top. We've gone from left to right. Fold your knees into your chest. And then we'll extend the legs up and you rock forward. Open the legs here and sit centered on your mat. Open the arms out for saw. Reach long for your fingertips and we'll rotate to the right. The left arm goes across to the right leg, the back of the hand to the outside of the leg. The right arm reaches up and back behind you. Stretch long for your fingertips, palm to the sky. Coming upright with the twist. And untwist. Your hands are in front of your collarbone, so they're in your peripheral vision. As you reach out, the arms still stay long. You spiral the palm up. You stretch out here, keeping weight in the opposite glute and leg. So you feel a diagonal stretch in your back, and then you come upright, center, all the way here, reach long through every limb, out through the heels, out through the fingers. Even think of your head like the fifth limb of a starfish and pull that long too, out towards your right foot here. And we're coming upright, grow tall, bend your knees again. Hamstring tightness will make you round your back, and then that will be harder on your back as you do these deep forward bends, especially with the twist. So never think that you just have to look like the pictures in Pilates Style magazine, right? You have to work with your own body to stay safe. And that means that if you need to bend your knees or elevate your hips while you're lengthening your hamstrings and getting to the point where you can sit upright, do it, because that is going to be much safer for your low back. It's all about building flexibility and strength while protecting what you already have, right? And then let's lower the arms down, pull the legs together. We flip over onto our stomach or swan. So here, you're on your belly. You take your hands back by your armpit. The elbows reach up and back. Your head floats off the ground. That way you can breathe, but also it keeps your neck and your head in line with your spine. Push the mat back towards your feet and pull your chest forward, coming up like cobra in yoga. You're going to lift, bending the chest around an imaginary ball behind your back. And then you dive down, looking down and floating the head here. Pull back with the arms, pull the chest forward, lift up. You push through the arms, but you're also pulling yourself up with your back muscles. And then you release on down. And we'll do that one more time. Think as the elbows go back, pull them in. Try to pull your shoulder blades together and drop them down by your tail. You get a stretch in the abdominal wall, and then you release back down. From here, we're going to take the hands forward a little bit, push into your arms, sit back in a child's pose, round your back, curl your tail under, drop your head. And then we're sliding the arms forward, go forward onto your elbows for single leg kick. Pull the chest high, pull it forward, pull the arms down and into the mat, and we kick the right heel in. 1, 2, and lower it down, then the left. Pulse 1, 2, and lower that down, now the right. Double beat. The pelvis stays heavy. You're trying not to bounce your butt up and down with the kicks. There will be a little action there, hopefully, yeah. We like to have them work. And left now. Now for the right. Keep pushing down with your arms. Don't let your body collapse down between your arms. You're pushing the ground away so that you're floating your chest up and forward. Let's do one more set here. End with a beat to the left. And then go ahead and open the arms, lay down, left cheek on the mat. You're turning your head to the right. Overlap the hands high on the back, let the elbows fall. Take a deep breath in. You inhale to stretch. Exhale 3 beats with both legs. Pulsing 1, 2, 3. Push the feet into the ground. Reach the arms back. Intertwine the fingers if you can, or just reach the palms back, palms up or in. Lifting into that cobra or swan. Go down to look left. 3 pulses. Both legs simultaneously. Push the legs down, reach back. Open here, stretch, and down you go. The front gets stretched, the back is working, right? Pulsing here, try to imagine your knees sliding forward as you pull the heels in close to your hips. Lifting the chest again, reach back, try to squeeze an imaginary ball between your arms to open the front of your chest. Go down, turning left. three beats, 3 pulses, and then down with your legs. Push your shins into the ground. Even if they don't touch, they're reaching for it. And then lower. Let's take our hands by our shoulders. And then let's push off again. Back into child's pose. Round your back, curve it. Stack your spine bottom to top. Come up, turn around. Last time we worked a little bit on neck pull. We're going to work on that again. If roll up is still hard for you, go back and practice roll up with the TheraBand. Otherwise, we're going to try this. So legs are apart, feet are flexed. Take your hands behind your head, pull the elbows up, elongate the spine with that lift of your halo. And then we lean back in a plank first, tuck, and start to do a roll down. Now, if you need to, you bring your elbows forward, your arms all the way forward so you have control all the way to the ground. There should be no flopping to the floor, like losing your control over your spinal movement. Coming up, you can start with your hands behind your head. That's super advanced. Fist into hand is actually a lot more supportive. So you're going to come up. It's a straight line from elbow to elbow. Lift your head, neck, shoulders. Exhale. Push into your arms. As soon as you can, bring your hands behind your head. And as you pull your waist back, dive forward. Do not push your head down. That's not good for your neck. But pull your head long to elongate your neck, the cervical spine, and the rest of it. 2. And then we flow up, starting at the bottom and rolling up here to lift the heart, to lift the head. And then we lean back. Maybe you don't want to take all the arm forward, but you might pull the elbows forward and see if you can control going down from your core. And then you can flare the elbows open when you land. Let's switch hands. So whichever hand was the fist, switch it up and push into the opposite palm. Lift up, exhale, push your feet down. You dive over your legs. Hands go again to the back of your head when you can, when you're up, and pull the head forward. And remember, this is a really difficult exercise. It's one of the hardest level intermediate exercises we have. So if you're still practicing your roll up, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Do it. It'll all lead you forward at the pace your body needs. We're coming down and once more to lift. Coming up, exhale, push, round over, dive forward. Again, think stretching your whole spine from your halo down your neck to your shoulders, down to your tailbone, and then roll it all the way up. We actually go down one final time. Tuck and roll it out to go into our shoulder bridge. So once you're down, the head rests. You can bend your knees and slide the arms forward at your side. If your knees are tricky at all, take a ball between your thighs or roll up a pillow, place it there, or even a towel. Just have something to hold the inner thighs working while you do this. So here, as you stand into your feet, spread them, and then think of pulling back without moving your feet to activate your hamstrings, the calves, the glutes, as if you're trying to push the mat to your shoulders. Start to curl the tail up. It's a pelvic tuck. The waist goes down, the tail rises, and you pull the knees forward. You pull the tail forward between them. Try to shoot your knees out over your toes, and your spine lifts 1 inch at a time. Don't look to see what's happened. Look up at the ceiling and slightly back to keep your throat long. And you can even roll down into the outer arm and push down through the top of the shoulders to pull your blades together underneath you. That lifts your sternum up so that you're in thoracic extension, the thorax being the part of your spine where the ribs attach. And now we're rolling to the inner arm. The shoulders curve up, the blades move sideways, and you can curl the spine, the upper part of the spine between the blades, and release your back down 1 inch at a time. So snake your way back down to the ground. At the end, the tail settles and the waist is up. And we begin again, rocking the pelvis by lifting the tail forward and up, pressing down through the arms, down through the feet. And as you come to the top, you're looking up. Don't turn your head when you get this high up. But whenever you lift your spine off the ground, you should be looking straight up and maybe even slightly back. Feel the support in your glutes. Push them and try to open your hips a little higher to the ceiling. Push down through the outer arm and lift your heart. And now we roll down through the inner arm, widen the back, and curve your way down. You want to traction your spine down from the top to the tail. Melt it down and release it down here at the end. We're working to increase the ability of each segment of your spine, each vertebra, to move a little independently so that you have a lot of great articulation as you move up again. Push through your legs, feel the support from your arms and from your feet. And then the lift of your glutes also supports your back line. Push down through the top of the shoulders, rise here. You can try to lift the hips a little higher And now roll to the inner arm. Feel the upper back start to melt. Picture a heat lamp above you going down your body to release it down into the ground, one vertebra after the next. Okay. And we're going to, from here, come up to sitting for spine twist. So pull one knee in, the other leg up, rock forward and up to a sitting position. And sit upright. Again, if you need to elevate your hips, if you need to bend the knees, all of those are good options. We're taking the arms out again to your side and a little bit forward of your collarbones, so you're not in upper back extension, right? You want to feel like you're balanced here on top of your pelvic floor and feet are flexed together. We're going to rotate to the right and pulse 1, 2, 3, lift to center, and then to the left and pulse 1, 2, 3, looking back over your hand and pulsing again. Center here and to the left. And to the right again. Twisting through the waist. Be sure it's the movement of your waist, of your ribs, of your oblique abdominals that's pulling you around and not that you're flinging your arms to move your torso. The arms are just carried here. They're passengers on the movement of your spine. And let's do one more set. Try to keep the feet grounded and level as if they're up against a wall. So the work really happens in the spine and not through the hips, not through the arms. All right, and we're going to lay down for jackknife. So you can roll back, take your time going down, and then here, if this is a new exercise for you, if you're not used to doing inversions, you can always elevate your hips, or you could practice the very beginning movement where you just cross your ankles and press your arms down and then curl the tail up, try to lift it a little bit and come down. One of my teachers called this bunny hop, so that you're pressing through your arms. It's a little bit like rolling like a ball. You come up and then you bring it down, but you're feeling that you're strengthening here through your low back. And then of course you would do it with the legs crossed the other way. If you're going for the full jackknife, you would start, pull the knees in, lift the legs up to the ceiling and reach the legs forward a little bit. Press through your arms, your gaze is up and slightly back. We're gonna bring the legs up and over and then lift the feet up to the ceiling. They don't go directly there, but you're aiming for that direction. Feel the back line of your body work. And then you press into your arms as you slowly lower your spine down. As you bring your legs lower more over your face, you might feel more of a stretch in your back. And you try to delay going down. Each vertebra goes one after the next towards the floor. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit so I don't keep hitting my equipment. And we're going to lift the legs. This thing that I'm on, it's a traditional piece of Pilates equipment. It's called a Cadillac, because Joe Pilates, you know, he was a man's man. He was a guy, and he named his favorite piece of equipment after what was the ultimate car of that time, I guess. That's my theory. I don't know that that's actually true, but he wanted his equipment to be like the Cadillac, the ultimate piece of exercise equipment. And so he named it this. And we're coming up and then reach up and lift up high and go down again. All right. And then we just fold the legs in and let's rock forward and up to sitting. All right. We're just going to do a couple of the side kicks. Next time, I promise we'll get through the whole set. But you're doing great with the flow. We've already gone through a lot of movement. Typically for an intermediate class, it takes an hour to do this, and we have 45 minutes. So we tend to skip a few things each time. We're going to lift the top leg up hip height. Top hand presses into the ground. The head is supported, or the arm could be resting on your head could be resting on your arm if you needed that for your neck. Now from here, we swing the leg forward, pulse the heel forward, 1, 2, point the foot, sweep the leg back. Now you're trying to hold your body stable. You don't want to lean forward as the leg goes back. And part of that is dependent not only on your strength, but also on your tightness in your hip. So if your hip is really tight and needs to open, this is a great exercise to do that. But meanwhile, you'll feel like you're fighting yourself, but you really use your core so that you don't lean forward with your chest. Just like you don't want to be leaning back as the leg goes forward. You don't want to lean forward as the leg goes back. So you hold your body stable here. Much harder to do when you're not on your back, but you're on your side. Come back to center and lower the leg. We rotate, point the foot and it kicks up high. Flex the foot and it reaches down long. Squeeze the air out from between your legs. Point and you rise. Flex and you close. Imagine that you're moving through water and you've got to push it aside. So that you're not really using a ton of momentum. You're working it, you're pushing it down. You're not falling into gravity. Now flex and go up with the flex foot, and you point to go down. So we've changed the angle of the foot to work different muscles in the lower leg, flexing up and then point and reaching it long. Pull the head away from the spine. One more, reaching high and then point, take it down. Développé, we bend the knee, we slide the foot along the bottom leg, pull the knee in, kick it up, flex, and reach it out and down. And we pull in, knee to shoulder, leg rises, flex, and reach it down again. One more. Typically, we do 3 to 5 on each of these exercises on the side kick series. Tap, reverse, I'm choosing 3. So you get a little more variety. Point, bend, and exhale, glide it forward and down. Stretch it out, reach. So Pilates, he believed that you don't want to do like 100 of anything, because at the end, even at the middle of it, you lose your form and you are more likely to injure yourself. And plus the body gets bored. Now rond de jambe, big circle. We're going to bring the leg forward, rotate externally, up, around, back, and through center. Feel your glutes work, really work into your arms to hold your body stable on the mat against this mobility of your leg. Forward, exhale all the way around and back. Anyway, so Pilates, he thought you do anywhere from 3 to 8 repetitions of each exercise. So the body continuously moves through different planes of movement, does different things. Now we're going to reverse. Take the leg back, spiral up, around, forward, and down. So you're always like working the body and attacking it from different angles, for the movement pattern, so that everything changes and builds on each other without you ever getting to the point where you're bored or just exhausted from doing one movement. That's when people get hurt. That's when the movement isn't as beneficial. So like shorter snacks throughout the day instead of a big heavy meal. That's Pilates. All right. So from here, let's lay over onto your stomach, overlap your hands under your forehead, and we're going to lift both legs from your glutes and clap the thighs together and apart. That means the heels will come together and apart, but try to think of your thighs moving and try to use your glutes to lift them off the ground, pressing your pelvis into the ground as you lift the legs. And one more breath. Lower the legs down, child's pose. Hands by your side, push up. Round your spine, sinking back into child's pose. Stack your spine bottom to top. And then we swing the legs forward to slide out on the other side. So organize your body in a straight line from your head to your tail. Bring the bottom leg forward, maybe 30 degrees. It's like the kickstand. And we pick the top leg up. Top hand pushes into the floor. Feel that work in your obliques. Flex the foot and bring it forward. Double pulse here. Point the foot and sweep the leg back. Double pulse there. Flex to go forward. Try to hold the heel the same height as your hip. Point, take it back, and don't let the leg lower or lift. It's as if your leg was sliding on a glass tabletop, not going through it, not coming off of it, just polishing it up. Come back to center, and we rotate the leg externally. Point to go high, flex to bring it down, point and lift, flex and close, point up, flex and down, now reverse, flex to bring it up, and point to reach it out and long. Try to stretch the whole waist. Flex, lifting it here, and point, pressing it down, long, long, longer, and one more up. Point and push down for développé. We bend the knee goes up to the ceiling. You slide the foot in, you pull the knee in, you lift the foot, you flex, and you reach it out, press it away. Gliding it in, knee into the shoulder, reach high, flex, and reach the straight leg out with the flexed foot. One more. Once we tap down, we're going to reverse. Straight leg, flex foot, bring it up, up, up. Point the foot, bend the knee, tap the toe down to the inner thigh. Think of it like an iron. It's ironing the bottom leg out so that the bottom leg gets long as well as the top, with the reach through that top foot. I also think of it like the airplane goes up in the air and then down, and it comes back down on the runway. Now we circle, rond de jambe. Inhale forward, rotate the leg up, out, back, around, spiral the leg on the socket. It will work better. That's how the leg is designed to work on the hip joint. It's called circumduction if you're studying anatomy, which, hey, we're all studying our own anatomy and trying to figure it out while we do things like this, right? Come back and around, complete the circle, let's reverse. So you press it back, you rotate, you lift forward and around, the leg as straight as possible. Energy pouring out of the center of the leg, out through the center of the foot. And one more circle here. The bottom leg has to push into the ground to hold your body steady. All right, and then Let's come up to sitting. And we're going to start here for our teaser prep. So we're almost at the end. So the thighs are together. We're going to curl back like we're getting ready to do a roll down or a rolling like a ball position. Pick up your heels, pick up your feet, look out at your toes. For women, they typically look straight ahead at their toes. Guys, their legs are a little bit lower. Has to do with body proportion and weight in the bones of the body, right? Pelvic girdle in particular. And now what we're doing is we're going to start by curling the tail up in a tuck and start to roll the low back down. And at the same time, you slide the feet away, your hands slide towards your hips. You go back a little bit into this sort of open banana shape, and then you pull it up like so. Now, if this is a lot of work for you, you can also do this with your TheraBand around your feet. So you can hold here, and then you can reach the leg out into the band. That will give you more support and the chance to work your core without feeling like it's so potentially dangerous for your back. And then we're going to just continue to go out and down. Now you could do a small movement. You could just go like a fraction down and back up and do it super slowly. Eventually your goal is going to be to stretch the legs out and lower them down as you lower your spine. Keep looking at your feet. You would end up with your heels touching when the tip of the blades do. Lay it all the way down. And then you slide the arms forward, head lifts, chin to chest, scoop the legs up. You can bend the knees in if you need to, but keep them straight eventually to come up into that teaser position. And then eventually hands free. The tail reaches up, the spine curves down. You have to get that articulation of your spine. You have to bring your heels down when the tips of the blades touch, because otherwise you're in with your head down, your legs in the air, you could really hurt your back. So we're always thinking of how we're going to organize this to keep the body safe and yet still work it to maximum capacity. Come all the way up and then just fold the knees in. And let's round forward between your legs. Take a little dive here, stretch out your back. I hope you all stay, like explored a little bit, but stay where your body felt safe. You know, I can't micromanage you from here since there's a group of you and you're not right with me, but I'm trying to give you the ideas on how you work your body safely. All right, so from this position, let's lean back on the elbows, lift the heels, and we're just going to do, this is sort of fun, this is called can-can. We're going to let the knees sway to the right, lift up the hip, to the left, really swing your hips here, to the right, and you kick, bend the knees, and now we go left, right, left, and kick, fold, right, and kick, fold, left, right, and kick, fold, one more, right, kick, fold, and left, right, kick, and fold, and center. So that sort of like also helps release your hips after working so tightly controlled through your teaser. And from here, we're skipping swimming. We're at the very end to end with seal. So come forward, take your hands between your legs, wrap your hands around the ankles, and then rock back to your balance point. Look down at your belly. We open and close the thighs. To open and close the feet, clap 1, 2, 3. You roll back on the inhale to balance on your shoulders, not your head. 1, 2, 3. Come up and clap 2, 3. Rolling back. Try to pull your tail up in the air to suspend the body. If when you're rolling, you end up clapping your feet as you're rolling forward, that's okay. That's where we start. Eventually, you try to feel your body suspend as you're on your shoulder blades, not on your neck, never on your neck when you roll. Keep looking down into your center. And we'll do one last one. So it's an inhale to roll back and lift your tail, clap 3 times. Once or twice is also fine. And then we lower the feet. And my darlings, you're good for today. Thank you so much for doing class with me again. I hope to see you next time. And remember, you can always watch this on video for your own practice. Thanks so much. Have a great day.